Morning people. Today's video is not about a repair but a recommendation to those who are in the repair industry and they're taking things seriously and professionally. I've always said that there's no such thing as a free estimate. I don't believe in that concept, because the one of the fundamental failure of that is that you're giving the customer a choice of whether to repair the unit or not to repair the unit that suits them. So for example, let me grab something and I'll explain a little bit better. So for example, let's talk about this. Let's put some backlight on. I have this iPad, okay? It wasn't powering on, but it's powering on. But now it's got a baseband problem. Okay, so there's more work on this. Now, in the process of repair, you spend, or troubleshooting, sometimes you're troubleshooting as well as you're fixing things, along the way. And that's your time. You need to value your time. If you don't value your time, nobody gives a monkey's ass, I should say, about your time. I wouldn't say everybody, but a lot of the people wants everything for nothing. There's no such thing as that. So these repair shops are giving free estimates, getting screwed over by customers, and they just lost time, valuable time, when they can utilize that to generate income. It's not a charity, a repair industry, a repair shop. Like I have a workshop. There's tens and thousands of pounds worth of equipment here, and I've had to invest those into the workshop. Does the customer gives a shit about it? Absolutely not. What the customer wants is to find out what's wrong with it. Some of these customers are very sly. They'll find out what's wrong with it, and they'll take the unit away at no cost because you didn't charge them an upfront fee. They try and sort of fix it themselves. And I'll demonstrate something very, very quickly. I have something to show you. This is the reason why I'm doing a video talking about the estimates. What we do at our workshop, there's a fee of $19.99. That covers the time of us having a look at it. However, if the customer decides that they're going to repair the unit, we waive that £20 or $19.99 away, and we have a fixed labour plus PATs and so on and so forth. But if the customer turns around and says, "Oh, it's not worth fixing, oh this, oh that," right, well, that charge stands, and they've got to collect the unit within 14 days. If the unit doesn't get collected within the 14 days, we will dispose of it, or we will repair it, or whatever it is, and recoup our losses. So this is how it should be. You need to value your time. We had a douchebag customer who've actually left us a note, and I would like to show you something. But in fact, just before I show you this note, let me explain what's going on. A HP laptop, HP 15 series laptop, which is about, let's say, a couple of years old, came in, cat peed on it. The key on the keyboard. Obviously, it's gone in. It was filthy, smelly. We spent couple of hours just cleaning through the thing, finding what the problem was, and then we've notified the shop. Now, in all fairness, here in the UK, aboard a component level, not many workshops are carrying out component level. So it's a very sort of how should I say this? It's a very niche market. People want just quick job, quick money, done. But going through component level repair is a different ball game. I'm not saying it's hard, I'm not saying it's rocket science, but it is a different ball game. Now, the HP 15, going back onto the initial issue, the HP 15, what we had here, obviously I've explained that it can't peed on it. There was corrosion on the board was shorted. Customer said it powered on. When we was when it was first brought into our workshop, in front of the customer, we tried powering up the unit was dead. So effectively there was a short or some sort of a damage on the board because it was dead. It won't power on, whether through the battery or the AC adapter, it does not matter. It will not power on. So we stress the fact that this is what the situation is, and once we got back to her with the repair, the cost was £100. That's to replace it with a genuine keyboard, which is round about 25 to 30 quid. 70 quid is to cover the cost of material, cost of repairing the board, and there's a little bit the retailer is going to make. So I do the work and pass it on to the retailer. The retailer was charging £20, and come on guys, in all fairness, they're handing the job over to me to sort of do it. My charge was what, say it's 55 quid, 55 quid. They've had 20 quid on. Fair enough, it's not silly money, and I'm quite happy with that, you know. And that wasn't a lot of commission basically, or whatever it is you'd like to call. But look at what this stupid cow has written. Okay, so I'll read. Computer repair to whom it may concern. Just one other thing. She wanted us to do data recovery, and this part is to do with the data recovery. We quoted a price for data recovery. Now, as we all know, data recovery can be expensive, depending on what we're doing. Okay, so this is what she states on this letter. Removal of hard drive, 2 screws on outside, 2 screws on inside. Slide towards and remove. Full stop. Download data. You require a USB cable and a USB universal drive adapter at the cost of £11.19. Now let me try and elaborate a little bit onto this. Okay, so she's telling us how to go about recovering the data. My question to her, because I don't deal with the customers directly, my question would have been that if you know what the fuck you're doing, why are you here in the first place? And I'm not being rude. You know, I am sort of saying effing this and that, but I mean, I wouldn't say that right in front of the customer. Okay, I'll be polite and humble. But my question, as I said, is if you know what you're doing, why are you here in the first place? You shouldn't be here in the first place. Right, you know, I mean, it's like me going into a doctor and telling him how to go about doing his job. Well, then don't even visit the doctor's surgery. Stay home, find your own remedy, sort yourself out. Let's move on to the next paragraph. Heading, profit. Look at this, have you seen it? Profit. To check mainframe on a computer. Mainframe means the stupid cow. What she meant by is the motherboard. To check the mainframe on the computer, turn it on. I'm translating this actually. Turn it on. If it does not bleep, it is the mainframe. So effectively, what she's trying to say is that if it doesn't beep, then it's the motherboard. Now, certain laptop won't beep because it doesn't have a speaker built in. Others may. HP 15. It does not bleep from what I can remember. Absolutely not. Next line. To replace mainframe refurbished is between £15 to £30. Right. Which is absolute bollocks, because a refurbished board starts from £75 onwards, depending on if you've got the right, an identical, symmetrical board basically. Which we weren't even interested because we were repairing the board basically. Right, so I'll read this. To replace the mainframe refurbished is between £15 to £30, which is what would be fitted. Takes approximately, I think this is 7 minutes. 7 minutes to fit. £70 profit. Okay. So to check the mainframe and remove hard drive takes 10 minutes maximum, which means your man is on £120 per hour, and you are not ripping us off. I don't know if you got all this, guys. Sorry, I was too busy reading away. This is what you call douchebag customers. You do not want to engage with them. The minute you tell them that there will be a charge of £20, they'll be gone. Kaput. You do not want to deal with douchebag customers. I've wasted my time, approximately 2 hours of my time. Now this is very interesting. This is where the last bit of the conversation gets really interesting. So she comes into the retailer's shop to pick up the unit. Retailer obviously makes her aware of the cost factors, and she wasn't happy to pay. However, she gets the £20 out, leaves it on the counter. Being the retailer that this chap is a nice gentleman, he left the laptop on the top, the worktop, or the glass cabinet, and she started arguing about the cost of the mainframe, the so-called mainframe, which is effectively the motherboard, between 15 to 30 quid, and we're telling her lies, we're ripping her off, and this and that, and blah blah blah. So he rang me, I sent him some pictures through WhatsApp to show her what the cost of the board's going to be. He then sort of shows her the cost of the boards to prove her that you're talking up your ass. You don't even know what you're talking about. So here's the proof of cost of refurbished boards. It's not between £15 and £30. And as we all know, year 2019, HP 15 motherboard, you cannot get, I can guarantee you £1,000, you will not get a working board for that sort of price. Absolutely no chance. Okay, these laptops are not donkey years old where you can pick up a board for as silly as that. Okay, so as soon as we presented her with the evidence that the board are far more greater costly than what she is under the impression or whatever it is, she snatches that £20 off the counter, grabs hold of the laptop and starts walking off. So the retailer got out of his workshop and starts sort of chasing her. The retailer felt that the body language that she was giving, that if he would have put his hand on to snatch that £20 off her hand, the matter would have been that she would have collapsed on the floor and started screaming or shouting. That's what the retailer said to me. So when I went around and I've heard everything, you know, I said to him, the best thing you've done is what you've done. Is not to make any attempt of recovering that 20 quid. It's not a big amount of money, you know, and thank God we're earning, and £20 is not a lot of money in that, on that basis. But she did what she did, and he did what he did. Otherwise, he would have been arrested. With the UK policing and the UK justice system, it's an absolute bollocks. It's an absolute corrupted system. And I'll have another video explaining why I say that. I've seen it all happening. Absolute bollocks. They'll take her word for it. He'll get arrested. He'll get thrown in the cell for however long, until he either finds a solicitor or a duty solicitor comes in and releases him. The other thing is they'll keep his DNA, his photos. So they'll store all that data for indefinitely for as long as the database exists. Is that fair on him? Absolutely not. She's the one who's committed a crime by not paying the retailer, but the retailer is going to get screwed over because she made the phone call. So the way it works here is whoever can pick up the phone call and create a believable story, the person that the opposite person is getting screwed over by the coppers. by the justice system. That's that. I'm not going to go in too much into that, but that's just the way the shithole in the UK. You know, it's just a shithole. Right. There's no, you know, back in the early 80s and early 90s, the policing were a lot more relaxed, and they would look at facts and figures rather than filling up the timesheets and just sort of, you know, I mean, it's all about money. It's all about money. The solicitors, the court system, the policing, everybody's in there to sort of rip out the taxpayers' money and enjoy and justify the hours of work that they're working. There is no morality anymore. There is no facts and figures. And I've seen it all. That's why I know what it's all about. For those who haven't experienced, it might seem like, oh no, the police are there to help you. Oh no, the justice systems are right there to help you and give justice right to innocent people again. Mate, when you've experienced it yourself, you'll know what the justice system's like in the UK. But anyway, that's another topic which I will talk about in another video. So when you get douchebag like this, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Have a minimum fee. £20, £15, whatever it is, to cover your cost of looking at the unit, to cover your technician's wage for the time that he's going to be spending, because somebody needs to have a look at that. Somebody needs to strip that unit, you know, strip it down, have a look at it, find out what's going on. Who's going to cover the cost of that? If the customer turns around and says, no, we're not getting it fixed, it's not worth fixing. And this term, it's not worth fixing, it's just absolute bollocks. They're prepared to go out and spend £400-500 on a brand new laptop, but they're not prepared to spend £100 on a laptop that's dead with a lot of data, a lot of sentimental data, photos, videos, whatever it is. They're not prepared to do that. How weird that is. That's just human. So as a repair industry, or repairers, or independent retailers, independent repairers, whatever it is you want to call it, you have to educate these people. If you let them sort of, oh, free estimate, no fix, no fee. No fix, no fee is a different concept altogether. So don't get them too confused here. No fix, no fee is a different concept, and we also operate on a no fix, no fee. No fix, no fee. We also operate on that. Because if we can't fix the unit, then the customer doesn't have to pay anything. But the initial checkup will have a cost of £20. We'll check it, and if we surrender and say, no, we can't fix it because the part's delisted, it's no longer available, or whatever reason, we give a reason to say that we can't do it, and we have a valid reason to say that we can't do it. We're not going to lie. There's no point of lying about over 20 quid, whatever it is. It's more of a moral value here as well. There's nothing for the customer to pay. It's no fix, no fee. But if it's fixable, like here, and the HP 15 laptops, they retail from about £380 plus. We've given the customer a choice of repair, well, I said the cost of repair, I should say, of £100. That includes a new keyboard, fixing the board, recovering the data, and servicing the entire unit. And also, the most important factor is cleaning up the cat pee and all that shit. And I'll tell you something. When somebody comes in and says that the cat peed on it, throw that laptop back out, because it friggin' stinks, especially when you're cleaning it with alcohol. Oh man, the entire workshop was just like, I had to run 2 extractor fan, proper extractor fan, to try and sort of eliminate the odour and the smell from the room. And it was near enough there for about a couple of days. That's how hanging it was. So my advice to you as an independent repair is have a policy, because that's the only way you can educate people, illiterate people. I mean, I can't believe this person has actually written this. It's beyond my belief. For the years of working, I've never, ever, ever... I've come across with awkward customers. I've come across with people that want to sort of save a bit of money and bargaining and make, can you do it for X amount, so on and so forth. That's you know, it's not acceptable, but it's okay. But that's not to say that somebody will come up with this telling you how to go about doing your job and so on and so forth. So put a policy in place. Charge them an upfront fee. They don't have to pay at the time. That's down to your discretion. I would advise get that fee off them up front, so that you don't have, when you're returning the unit or they're coming back to collect it, you're not having any sort of ifs and buts. So take the money up front. And then as a goodwill, if they authorise the repair. So in this instance, if my fella took £20 off her, or 19.99 I should say to the exact, which is only a penny difference, she wouldn't have argued about this because she's already paid. Or if she was a douchebag like I know that she was, she would have gone straight, oh no, I'm not paying that, right, okay, we'll take you somewhere else. So be it then, get lost, get going. Right, so £20, have a cost up front, down to your discretion, get the money, test the unit, be reasonable with your pricing, and if he or she declines that, no, we're not having it, then you know, at least you've not wasted your time. So you know, I mean, have a policy in your workshop, put it up on the wall, make them aware that, you know, the £20 or whatever it is that you'll be charging will cover the cost of the technician's time spending on fault finding. Nothing gets done free. Absolutely nothing. The air you breathe in countries you live in, you're paying tax. Let me put it this way. I'm being a bit ridiculous now, but you are. You're paying income tax. You're paying national insurance. You're paying council tax. You're paying VAT on everything, 20% VAT on everything and anything you buy. If you're running a successful business, then you're paying a profit-related tax or whatever it is. So when you're going out filling up, right, you're paying more tax than the actual cost of the fuel. When you're buying a fag of cigarette and an alcohol, right, you're paying more tax than the cost of the actual cigarette or the alcohol. So I'm not slagging off the government. I'm not doing that. But what I'm trying to say is that there's nothing free here. There's nothing free. So why, in a generation of nothing being free, why would you be wasting your time on carrying out estimates for customers for free? But don't get it confused between no fix, no fee. That's a different concept altogether. Hope you learned something, and all the best, guys, and I'll leave this matter to rest now. It was a very horrible experience, but you know, we live and learn. We're human, and my advice to you all is just be nice and kind to people, be humble, and have that level of understanding, basically. And this stupid cow didn't even have that level of understanding. That's why she's drafted this. I kept this. I'm going to laminate this, and I'm going to leave it as my top review of the years that we have worked as a team, basically. So I'm going to laminate this. Yeah, there's contact numbers above, and the name of the company basically is an animal rescue. That's all I can say. A place within sort of Greater Manchester. Okay, that's all I can say. But yep. Anyway, guys, all the best. Look after yourself, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.